Raghav from automationstepbystep.com, and today we are going to go very basic step by step, and from scratch we are going to learn how we can create a Python virtual environment, and we are going to do it in two ways. The first way is we will learn how can we create a Python virtual environment within a folder, within a project folder, and the second way will be how to create a Python virtual environment at a global location and then connect it with our project folder. This is going to be very easy and very interesting. So before looking at the steps of how to create the virtual environment, let us see what is a virtual environment and why do we need virtual environments. So here, uh, let me go here and show you. Let us say this is our system here, okay, and here within our system we will install Python, and that will be available in some folder inside our system. So let us say we have our Python here on our system, okay. Now when I create any Python project, so let us say this is my Python project, I'll call it as project 1, and I can have more projects here on my system. I will call this one as project 2. Now whenever we have to use any Python libraries, any Python packages, we will install those Python libraries using the pip command. So let's say if I run some command on my system, let us say pip install and the library name, let us say Selenium. So when I do this, all these libraries, all the Python libraries that I will install will go to the default Python location. That is the global universal location of Python on the system. So whether I'm using the libraries for project 1 or project 2 or any other project on my system, all will go here at this location. Okay, and this may not be a very clean process because all the libraries, all the projects libraries, all the Python packages are all present here on this global Python location. So if I have a way where I can keep the Python libraries needed by project 1 separately and project 2 separately, and every project's Python libraries and all the Python uh, packages separately, it will be a very clean system. It will be a very clean way. It will keep the dependencies for each project isolated, and it will not interfere with any other project's libraries or the global libraries. So that is why we create virtual environments. So virtual environments are, you can consider as a folder where we keep every project's Python dependencies and libraries separately. Now there are two ways to do that. I can either create a virtual environment for each project within the project folder, and I can keep all its Python libraries and packages inside this. So I can do like this. So project 1 will have a folder and all its Python dependencies here. Project 2 will have it here. So it will be within the project folder. Or I can create virtual environments at a global level, that is wherever our Python is, and I can then create all these separate environments and then connect to the project. So let's say this will be for project 1, this will be for project 2, and so on. Okay, if I show you some images Python virtual environment, and I go to the images here, and here also you can see this is one image. So you can see here as well we have different environments created, and we can also, in this way, if you have multiple installations of Python on your system, and let's say you want to use some particular installation, let's say Python 2 for a particular project and Python 3 for a particular project and Python 3.10 for a particular project, even that is possible using virtual environments. So we can create different virtual environments and keep their Python dependencies and requirements inside those environments or inside those folders. Okay, so here the advantages will be it helps in isolation of dependencies. We can keep all the projects dependencies separate from every other project and system. It is easy to reproduce the exact environment and dependencies needed for the project if we take our project to a different system or a machine, and it is a very lightweight and easy to create and manage if we use Python virtual environments. Okay, so now let us see the steps. So first we will see how we can create a Python virtual environment within a project folder. Okay, and the prerequisite is Python should already be installed on your system. Now just in case you do not have Python, I have a different video for that. I will put the link of that video in the description of this video so you can find that. And just to check if Python is there on your system, you can go to your command prompt. If you are on Mac, you can go to terminal and then say Python space hyphen hyphen version, and this will show you the Python version if it is installed. And you can also check pip version, pip space hyphen hyphen version. Pip is the package manager for Python. So it is there on my Windows. If you're on Mac, you can check on the terminal. So here I say Python space hyphen hyphen version and pip space hyphen hyphen version. So just in case you do not see the output of these commands, I will keep a link of the video where I have shown how to install Python on Windows and Mac, and you can check that from the description of this video. Okay, then now we will create a new folder and then go to the command prompt or terminal and go to the location of that folder. So let's do that. Now here on my Windows, I'm creating a new folder. You can create anywhere. I'm just creating here on the desktop, and I'm just calling it as my project 1. So you can imagine this will be my project folder in real world. And now I have to go to the location of this folder on command prompt or terminal. So on Windows, one of the shortcuts is you can open the folder and go to the address bar here, and then here just say cmd and hit enter. It will open command prompt on the same location, that is the folder location. So that is one way. Otherwise you can just copy the location of the folder. So let me just copy the folder location and copy it, and then I will go to the command prompt and say cd and the location of the folder. Now just see, in my case I was already on C drive on my command prompt, and the folder is also on the C drive, that is C users administrator desktop. So that is why I did not have to change the drive. Just in case you create your folder in on a different drive, first change the drive. Let's say if you want to change to E drive, you can say E colon and then give the location of the project after saying cd. Cd means change directory space and then the location of your project folder, and then hit enter. I will come back to my C drive and also clear the screen. Okay, so now I am here. Now the next step is to create a virtual environment. I will say python -m venv and the name, whatever I want to give the name of my virtual environment. Okay, so I will say python -m venv and then the name. So let's say I will call it as you will see, as I will create the virtual environment, you will see the folder of the virtual environment coming here in the project folder. So I will say my env1. You can also give some meaningful names like environment for project 1 or something like that. I'm saying my env1 and hit enter, and you can see the folder has come here. Okay, and it will take a few seconds. So it will create the environment. It is created, and you can also see the folder has come here, and it will have all these scripts, library folders. So these are what you will also see in your Python project, Python folder, that is when you install Python. So if I just show you, let me show you very quickly. I have installed my Python on my D drive. So while installing Python, I selected a location of D drive, and here this is my Python installation, and you can see lib, scripts, all these folders are here as well. So if you install anything, any Python library at a global level, it will go here in the main installation of Python on the system. And now when we are using virtual environments, and when I activate this virtual environment and then do any installation, all that libraries will go inside this folder for this particular project. Okay, so now this is done. I have to now activate my virtual environment so that it is activated, and then whenever I'll run any Python command like installation of any libraries, it will go in this particular environments folder. So if you are on Linux or Mac, you will say my environment and there will be a bin folder and there will be activate file there. For Windows, in whatever is your environment name, there will be a scripts folder and then there will be this activate.bat file. I can also show you this manually. If I go to my environments, there's scripts, and then you can see this activate.bat or activate, anything will work. So I will now do that. I will say myenv scripts. I'm pressing tab, so it is auto completing. So as I say SC and press tab on my keyboard, it is auto completing, and then activate, hit enter, and now you can see this environment is now activated. And the way to check that is you will see this environment within brackets at the start of your line in the command prompt. Okay, so now I am in this environment, and now whenever I'll run pip install any library or any command, it will all go in this particular environment, or in other words, it will go to this environment folder. Okay, so for deactivating, you can say deactivate, but before doing that, let us try to add something. So you can see if I go to uh, lib and site packages, you can see as of now all this is here, but if I install any new Python library, I will say pip install selenium, and let us see what happens. So you can see it is installing selenium and it will come here. You can see all these new folders and files have come here. You can see all this selenium and all the required dependencies of selenium, all the files have come here within this virtual environment or this folder. Okay, so now for this particular project, all the libraries, all the Python requirements will go in this particular folder itself, and we can keep all these dependencies separate from every other project and from the global Python libraries and dependencies. Okay, so we have already seen this. The name of the environment will be available like this, and this will work on any other IDE as well. For example, if you are using VS Code, you can do the same command, you can run the same commands on the VS Code terminal, and this will work as it is. Okay, so we have already done this, we have checked this. Now if we install any Python library or package, it will go to this particular environment only. Okay, and now one other important thing is I can now, if I want to save all the dependencies to a single file, I can just say pip freeze or pip list and give the and push all the list of the required libraries to a text file. So we know this. Let me show you. If I say pip list, it will show me list of all the Python libraries for this virtual environment. I can also say pip freeze. It will also show me the list of Python libraries. Okay, and now you can also see Selenium is here, which I have installed just now. I can say pip freeze and put this in some text file req1.txt. So you will see the text file is created here, and if I check this, all my project dependencies have come here. So it becomes very easy to see all the dependencies, and then if I take this project to any new system, any new machine, I can just use this command pip install -r and give the file name where I have copied all the dependencies, so it will install all the dependencies in the new environment on a new system or a new machine. Okay, so this was how we can create a Python virtual environment in a project folder. Now, the next steps are, if you want to create the Python virtual environment at a global level and then connect it to your folder, for that, these are the steps. Let me show you. I will create new folder now. I will exit from this. One more thing I forgot to show you is, if you want to deactivate the environment, you can say deactivate. Okay, and now you can see the environment is now deactivated, it is not here. And if you again want to activate, you can again run the activate, call the activate script, so which is myenv, whatever is your environment name, and scripts and activate. So this will again activate the environment. So I will just deactivate for now, and in fact I will exit from this command prompt. I'm going to create a new folder and I will call it as my project 2. Okay, this is a new folder I have created. Let me open this as well. Okay, now for creating a virtual environment on the system and then connecting to the project, first we will have to install the virtual environment package using pip. So I will say pip install virtual environment or virtualenv. I will open a new command prompt and I will say pip install virtual. Now this will go to the global Python dependencies virtualenv. Okay, this is already there. And the next thing, for Windows, you can install a Windows wrapper, virtual environment wrapper -win, but sometimes it is not required, so I'll just go without it, and you can check if you need it. You can get it using this command. I will put all these notes, all these commands in the description of this video. Okay, now I have to go to the command line and go to the folder of my project. So let me just copy the location of my project and I will go here. I will say cd and the location of my project. Let me clear the screen. Okay, I am here. Now I will use the command mkvirtualenv and the environment name. So I will say mkvirtualenv. I will say myenv2. Okay, and it says created virtual environment and all these details. Okay, now if you want to see a list of virtual environments which are there on your system, the Python virtual environments, you can say ls virtualenv, and this will show you all the virtual environments. Now in my case you can see some more environments because all these I created earlier, and this is the latest one which I have created now. Okay, and also you can see I'm already on my myenv2 virtual environment. Okay, so when I created this virtual environment, I was connected to my virtual environment automatically. Okay, just in case you want to switch to any virtual environment which is there on your system, you can say work on and then give the environment name. Let us say I say hello world, which is this virtual environment here. So I'm saying work on hello world, and you can now see the virtual environment is now changed here. Okay, I will again say I'll switch back to my env2. I'll say work on my env2, and now I am on my env2. Okay, let me clear the screen. So now I am on my virtual environment, and now we know to deactivate we can either exit from the command line or terminal, or we can say deactivate command and it will deactivate the environment. Okay, now we have to set or bind our virtual environment with our current project directory or current folder. So for that we say set project dir and dot. So I will say set project dir and dot and hit enter. You can see it says this is now the project directory for this virtual environment. Okay, so it is now set, and let me see. I think I changed, when I changed it also changed the location of my folder. I will have to go back to the location of my project to folder and then set it. So let me do that. Let me deactivate. Okay, and now I will say C colon to come to my C directory, and yes, I am now on my project folder. or I will say cd, and now I will say ls virtual env. I will say work on myenv2. Okay, now okay, I believe myenv2 was already created. Let me go back. I think that is the issue. Let me go back. I will deactivate. Okay, no, now I am on my project 2. So I think I had to change it from here. Now I am here, and now I will say set project dir dot, and now it says this is now project 2 is now the project directory of this virtual environment, that is myenv2. Okay, so this is what I needed. Okay, so just take care of this what I just did. Okay, you will also have to change the location in case it is changed automatically. And also now, so if you can see, if I do any installation now, let me clear the screen. If I say pip install selenium, or let me say playwright, so it will get installed on this virtual environment which is bound to this particular project folder. Okay, and we can also check this if I go to that particular virtual environment folder, and for that I can say which Python. I think which Python works on Linux and Mac. Here I will say where Python. So here I can see the list of virtual environments, which is this, the location of the virtual environment folder. So I'll go here on my system, and here when I go to lib and site packages, here I can see playwright is installed here. Okay, so now this is how we create virtual environments at a system level and then connect with our project folder. So I hope this was very useful for you. If you have any questions, you have any doubts, you can let me know in the comment section and I will reply to you. I hope all this was very useful. Thank you for watching and never stop learning.